Moves at the speed of light is producing more and more baby-faced technology tycoons, young men and women in their 20s and early 30s, building companies that are bought out by giants like Microsoft, Google, Cisco for hundreds of millions of bucks. But with so much success so young, what do you do with the rest of your life? Well, if you're Scott Banister, he's the chief with the social networking site Zivity.com. Well, you keep working, right, Scott? So, Scott.
Absolutely.
So you sold a company. The company sold for more than $800 million. It was an anti-spam company to Cisco earlier this year. So what keeps driving you to start a new business?
Well, I'm just fundamentally a serial entrepreneur, and I'm a big believer in the power of business to bring good to the world, both creating products that consumers like and creating jobs that people really enjoy.
But Scott, why don't you just, you don't feel the urge at all to just hit the beach and or just buy a big house and just tumble around in it playing video games?
I find it a lot more fun to try to identify new market opportunities and build new things from scratch.
Okay, I'm going to call you the younger, up-and-coming generation, okay? And I'm sitting here in New York, and I'm seeing the older generation leaving Wall Street in droves. What are they doing wrong that you would do differently as the new guy on the block?
Well, I think the thing that we do out here that's unique, and personally, my philosophy is to take risk. I mean, if you look at my new company, Zivity,
well, you know, I hate to interrupt you, sir, but I think you would agree that the guys who ran Merrill Lynch and Citigroup took quite a lot of risk, which they really didn't account for.
Well, I think when you're taking risks with smaller amounts of money in new markets, as opposed to going out and just trying to lend cheap capital to home buyers, I think those are two very different things.
Okay. Now, let me ask you a serious question. You've made an awful lot of money. What do you do with it? Do you plow it all back into brand new ventures, or do you have some money on the side that you put into the stock market? And if you do put some in the stock market, where do you put it? May we ask?
You know, I take some money, I throw it into tech stocks, and then the rest I do put into the companies that I'm starting.
Scott, you're getting ready to talk about Zivity.com. It's been described as a combination of MySpace, Playboy, and American Idol. I mean, you were talking about making people's lives better. I mean, it's a little racy. Is that really? How's that going to improve anybody's life?
Yes, it is.
Well, Zivity is a royalty-based social networking platform. So, unlike the television producers, we actually deliver 40% of our revenues to the models and the photographers that produce the content on the site. And if you look at what's going on the internet these days, the really entertaining stuff is produced by end users, and they're not getting any of the money.
Okay, Scott, but to quote someone in the Wall Street Journal today, they said there are a lot of Me Too businesses out there, and at the end of the day, even though the model's a little bit different, isn't it just a social networking site?
Yeah, I don't know of any other social networking site where you can be topless.
Okay. You know what, Scott? We're going to leave it there.
Doing it.
We're going to leave it there. I don't think you can top that one. Scott Banister, he's the co-founder and chairman of Zivity. Thank you so much, Scott.
Thank you.
All right.